Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Uh-huh.
This time, we're going to be exploring something called your home note. It's kind of like your own personal healing frequency based on the idea that everything's made up of vibrations,
Yeah.
even us, and that we can use these vibrations for healing.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to see how these ancient ideas about sound and vibration are now being backed up by modern science and research. We're seeing more and more hospitals incorporating sound healing techniques into their treatment plans, using certain frequencies to help manage pain and even to improve sleep.
It's pretty amazing, right? Like, we're finally catching up to what these ancient traditions have known for centuries. But what really intrigues me is this idea that each of us has this unique healing frequency, this home note that resonates perfectly with our own individual rhythms.
Exactly. The concept actually comes from a sound healing expert, David Gibson, and he suggests that this home note is basically like a musical note determined by the average rhythm of your heart rate, your brain waves, and your breath.
Oh.
It's like your own personal signature tune for well-being.
I love that. A personal theme song for feeling good. So how does this sound healing work? What makes it so effective?
Well, sound healing uses a variety of different techniques that use sound and vibration to promote healing and well-being. Things like Tibetan singing bowls, tuning forks, even certain types of music. And it's gaining a lot of traction because research is starting to reveal its potential to really impact us on a physical, emotional, and even spiritual level.
So it's not just about relaxing sounds then. There's a real science behind it.
Oh, absolutely. David Gibson actually developed this framework called the hierarchy of vibration to help explain how different levels of sound can influence us. So at the most basic level, you have pure tones and pitches like those produced by a tuning fork. But then as you move up the hierarchy, you have the quality of the sound, what musicians call timbre. Think of the difference between a single flute note and a full orchestra playing the same note.
Okay, that makes sense. So the quality of the sound adds another layer of complexity.
Right, and it can have a profound impact. For instance, studies have shown that the rich layered sounds of Tibetan singing bowls can actually influence heart rate variability, which is a key indicator of well-being.
Wow, that's fascinating. So what comes next in this hierarchy?
Above the level of timbre, we have musical intervals. These are the relationships between two different sounds. And then, of course, we have music itself, the combination of rhythms and melodies. This is where things like brainwave entrainment come into play.
Brainwave entrainment, what's that?
It's the idea that specific rhythms in music can actually shift brain activity into different states. For example, slower rhythms can entrain the brain into the alpha state, which is associated with relaxation, while faster rhythms can induce the beta state, which is linked to alertness and focus.
So music can actually change our brain waves.
Exactly.
That's wild. It really is like a secret code for our brains. So where does intention fit into all of this?
That's actually the most powerful level of Gibson's hierarchy, combining all the previous levels with focused intention. This is where the real magic happens. When someone sings a song with pure intention, for example, the impact on the listener can be profound.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these elements work together. But let's get back to the heart of this deep dive, finding your home note. How do we actually go about discovering this personal frequency?
Well, there are a few different methods. One common approach involves listening to a series of assessment tones. Each tone has a specific note and rhythm. You simply tune in to each one and pay attention to how it makes you feel.
So it's not about intellectual analysis, but more of a feeling.
Exactly. It's about tuning into your body's wisdom and noticing which frequency feels most resonant. Which one evokes the most peaceful, calm, and grounded feeling within you. You might even notice that your breath naturally synchronizes with your home note when you're relaxed and at ease.
Yeah, it's really about finding that sweet spot where everything just clicks, where your body and mind feel most at ease. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But once you've discovered your home note, what can you actually do with it?
Well, that's where things get really exciting. By incorporating your home note into your life, you can potentially unlock a range of benefits. One way is by listening to music that features your home note prominently.
So I could create a playlist of songs in my home note case.
Exactly. Or you could explore binaural beats. These are special audio tracks that use specific frequencies to influence brainwave activity, and there are binaural beats designed to promote relaxation-focused sleep and even creativity, all tuned to your home note.
That's fascinating. So essentially you're using sound to gently guide your brain and body into a more harmonious state.
That's a great way to put it. And the potential benefits are pretty remarkable. For example, people who use their home note for sound healing have reported experiencing reduced anxiety, improved sleep, enhanced creativity, even faster recovery from injuries.
Hold on. You're saying that simply by listening to specific sounds, we can experience all these positive effects. It sounds almost too good to be true.
It might sound that way, but remember, everything vibrates at its own frequency. And when we introduce a frequency that resonates with our natural state of balance, it can create a cascade of positive changes throughout our system. It's like giving your body a gentle nudge back into harmony.
I'm starting to see why people are so excited about this. Have there been any studies done on the benefits of home note therapy?
There's a growing body of research, and the findings are pretty compelling. For instance, David Gibson, who we mentioned earlier, documented a case study of a man who suffered a traumatic brain injury. After consistently listening to music tuned to his home note, he experienced a remarkable recovery, regaining cognitive function and overall well-being much faster than expected.
That's amazing. Are there other examples of people experiencing significant improvements?
Oh, there are many. Some individuals with ADHD have found that using brainwave entrainment techniques tuned to their home note has helped them improve their focus and concentration, sometimes even to the point where they can manage their symptoms without medication.
That's so empowering. It's like giving people the tools to take control of their own well-being. And what about for things like anxiety and sleep issues? Have people found relief using their home note?
Absolutely. Anxiety is often associated with chaotic brainwave patterns. And by introducing the stable, consistent vibration of your home note, you can help to counteract that chaos and bring your nervous system back into a state of calm. It's like having a sonic anchor in the midst of life's storms.
That's such a great analogy. And what about sleep? How can tuning into your home note improve sleep quality?
Think of it this way. Your brain naturally produces slower brainwaves, particularly delta waves, as you drift off to sleep. By listening to binaural beats tuned to your home note within the delta range, you can mimic those natural sleep patterns and encourage your brain to ease into a state of deep, restful sleep. It's like a gentle lullaby for your brain.
I'm seeing a pattern here. It seems like home note therapy is all about working with our natural rhythms and frequencies to enhance our well-being.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about harnessing the power of sound to help us align with our own innate vibratory harmony.
This has been so insightful. But before we move on, I'm curious to know if there are any downsides to home note therapy. Is it safe for everyone?
It's a good question. And while it's generally considered safe, there are a few things to keep in mind. For instance, individuals with epilepsy or those with sound sensitivity should always consult with a healthcare professional before trying any type of sound therapy.
That makes sense. It's always best to err on the side of caution and get personalized guidance. But for most people, it sounds like a pretty gentle and accessible approach to enhancing well-being.
That's right. And it's so versatile. Whether you're looking to reduce stress, improve sleep, boost creativity, or simply feel more grounded and centered, incorporating your home note can be a powerful tool.
This deep dive has certainly sparked my interest in finding my own home note. But before we wrap things up, I have one more question. You've mentioned a variety of benefits, but if you had to summarize the core essence of home note therapy, what would you say it's all about?
At its heart, I think home note therapy is about rediscovering your innate vibratory harmony. It's about tuning into the frequency of your true self and allowing that resonance to guide you towards a state of greater balance, well-being, and wholeness.
It's pretty amazing to think that something as simple as sound can have such a huge impact on our well-being.
It really is. It makes you realize how everything in the universe is interconnected. We often forget that we are vibrational beings just as much as we are physical beings.
That's so true. And it seems like home note therapy gives us this powerful way to tap into that vibrational nature and bring ourselves back into harmony. I'm really curious to hear more about some real-world applications of this. You mentioned that athletes have been using home note therapy for both performance and recovery. How did that actually work?
Well, athletes are always looking for ways to improve both physically and mentally. And tuning into their home note can really give them an edge. For instance, before a competition, athletes might listen to music or binaural beats in their home note key within the alpha brainwave range. This can help them get into that state of relaxed focus and heightened awareness. You know what athletes often call being in the zone?
Right. Alpha is all about that calm but alert state. Perfect for performing at your best. What about for recovery after intense training?
After training, it's all about shifting into the theta brainwave state. Theta is associated with deep relaxation and the release of tension, allowing the body to repair and rejuvenate more effectively. So listening to their home note within the theta range after training can help athletes recover faster and prevent burnout.
So it's like having this sonic toolkit for optimizing performance and well-being. And you also mentioned earlier that home note therapy might have some applications for conditions like autism and dementia.
Yeah.
What's the current thinking in those areas?
Well, more research is definitely needed. But there are some pretty promising findings. For individuals on the autism spectrum, for example, home note therapy seems to have the potential to help regulate sensory input, reduce anxiety, and improve communication.
That's amazing. It's like sound could create a more harmonious internal soundscape for those who are maybe overstimulated by the world around them. What about for dementia? How could home note therapy be beneficial in that area?
Dementia often involves pretty chaotic brainwave patterns and a decline in cognitive function. But research suggests that listening to personalized home note frequencies, particularly in the alpha and beta ranges, might help reestablish healthier brain rhythms and could potentially even slow cognitive decline.
Wow. It's like giving the brain a little nudge back into its natural rhythm, helping those neural pathways stay active. As we've been discussing the power of sound, I can't help but think about music and how it brings up such strong emotions and memories in us. Do you think there's a connection between our emotional responses to music and our home note?
That's a really interesting question. I think there's definitely a connection. Music has this incredible power to really move us to tap into our deepest feelings and memories. And it's likely that the music that resonates most deeply with us is somehow aligned with our own personal vibrational frequency, our home note.
I love that. It's like certain music is like a tuning fork, reminding us of our own unique vibratory signature. Well, this has been such an eye-opening deep dive. It's really opened my eyes to all the possibilities of sound healing and the power of finding your home note. I feel really inspired to explore this more in my own life.
Me too. It's been a pleasure diving into this fascinating world with you, and I hope this conversation has inspired all of our listeners to go on their own sonic adventures and discover the power of their own home note.
Absolutely. And to wrap things up, I want to leave all of you listening with one final question to think about. If your soul has a frequency, what does it sound like? And how could connecting with that sound impact your life?
That's a beautiful question to ponder. Maybe it's a melody that resonates with your deepest passions, a rhythm that guides you towards your purpose, or a harmony that brings you a sense of profound peace and connection.
That's a beautiful way to put it, an invitation to really listen to ourselves and discover the music that makes us feel whole. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey, everyone. Until next time, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep vibrating higher.